Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rockstar. New release from Mr. Erik Grönwall, White Wedding, Billy Idol. Billy Idol, if you read my book, you know this stuff, but it was the first artist I worked for when I worked at the recording studio when I think I was 20 years old. So Steve Stevens, the guitar player, was the first guy to give me any swag. I still have my guitar pick. It had a little ray gun on it. Super cool of him. And I spoke to Keith Forsey for many years after that gig. Super awesome guy. He's part of the camp, right? So anyway, I love Billy Idol. I had the super opportunity for real to work for that guy. It was awesome. I'll tell you a funny story of you guys. I'll tell you guys the story after. Let's get into Erik's video. It should be cool. I really like what this guy does with tracks, and I really like Billy Idol. I want to let you guys know I have released my second book. It's called XEMU Pulled My Finger. It is available on Amazon. You guys can find a link in the description below to the book. It's available as a softcover, a hardcover as an audiobook, and it's available as a Kindle. Book's supposed to be funny. Hopefully you guys get some laughs out of it. Let's jump into this video. Erik Grönwall, White Wedding. Cool stuff. Let's do this.
It's a nice day for a white wedding. It's a nice day to start again. Hey little sister, who is it you're with? Hey little sister, what's your vice wish? Hey little sister, shotgun, oh yeah. Hey little sister, who's your Superman? Hey little sister, shotgun. It's a nice day to start again.
I don't know what the mannequin was all about. Erik Grönwall, all right, fantastic job. One of my favorite artists, Billy Idol, with one of my favorite tracks, and done incredibly well by Erik. I really give it accolades. Every cover he does is fantastic, and this one's right up there. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I like the cha-chunk, 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 cha-chunk was super, super cool. And Erik singing, honestly, like Billy did when he was 20. I mean, dude, Erik's just crushing it on the vocals. So it was really, really cool. You guys want to hear my story? So this is not in the book, actually. This is all from after the book finishes. So I was going to go see STP play. I was not working for them. I just wanted to go to the show, and I wanted to go to the show because Billy Idol was playing with STP. And it was a Harley Davidson show, I remember. So we get to the gig, and the band had told the security at the front. I went with the band's lighting designer and his wife, and they had told the guys at the front not to let me in, and that just to give me a hard time, right? My backstage pass, or I wasn't on the list, whatever. So they stayed at the front gate, and I'm like, nah, none of that. Let me in the damn concert. I want to see Billy Idol. So I get into the show, and all day long, I don't cuss on here a lot, so sorry, guys. But all day long, I'm like, Billy fucking Idol, Billy fucking Idol. So Billy Idol gets on the stage, and he goes, I'm Billy fucking Idol. And the guys at front of house look at me, and I'm like, yeah, he is. It was cool. Anyway, since I wasn't working the gig, I was hanging out with a guy named Ernie C. Ernie C's the guitar player at Body Count. Super cool guy, great band, Body Count, right? And so I cruised around the audience, and I could hang out and talk to whoever, and ended up pulling a couple girls, right? They were in a relationship together, these two ladies. So I bring them backstage to watch the show, and I'm hanging out, and STP's on the stage, and Ernie C. looks at me with approval, and Steve Stevens looks at me like, wow. And I look at those guys, I'm like, they have the same name. They had the same name. And so the guys were like, ah. One of the girls ended up dating, actually, for a little while. And she's kind of nuts. This is where it gets a little nutty. She had like a red mark on her wrist. And she had said that the Hells Angels were following her because of her dad or something. And she had ripped the tracking thing out of her wrist, right? So after that, it was like friend intervention of Joel, you know, no more, you got to get rid of it. So she went on her merry way. I stopped seeing her. I ran into the other girl years later, and that part wasn't so happy. She didn't want to hang out with me. She didn't talk to that girl anymore, and she wanted nothing to do with me. But she was the bartender at an event in Hollywood. So there's my story, my Billy Idol random story. But I appreciated Billy Idol for the honest fact that it was my first gig in music, and he was so nice to me, man. He was super cool. And we didn't have long talks or anything, but I remember it was like, hey, you know, where's the water cooler? And I didn't give him a hard time about saying water. And I pointed, you know, it's over there, man. That was our big conversation, I think. Good dude, though. All right, Erik Grönwall, what do you got in store for us next, man? That was awesome. Super awesome. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Sorry, my story wasn't that interesting. But for whatever reason, the girl part, I like that story. Thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.